Welcome, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to the training. Awesome. Welcome to the Thursday live training. Who's excited? Today we're going to be talking about how to know if you are ready to be a coach and ready to take on clients. Really important question to have an answer to. If that's one of your goals right now, to grow a coaching business, it's an important question to ask, right? In fact, that is usually the first question that we ask. Am I even qualified to take on clients? And how do I know I'm ready for that? Let me know in the comments as you're joining me. Say hello so I can say hi and see you and say hi back to your smiling faces. I just imagine you all smiling. So go into the comments and say hello. And let me know that you can hear me and see me. Replayers, if you're joining this training on a replay, say hashtag replay so I can see you're joining me on the replay. Good to see you guys on here. Am I even ready to be a coach? Super important question. Most of the time, we think our first question is, what should my offer be? Or what should I price my program? What should the price be? But we miss the part where we actually are asking ourselves, am I even ready to be a coach? And how do I know if I'm qualified? So who wants to jam on that today? Let me know in the comments. Awesome. Yes, you see my kitty, so cute. Yes. Christy says, I see your kitty, so cute. Yeah, she loves to join the trainings. I knew she was going to hop on here the second I started talking to you guys. So yes, I want to talk about this topic because it's something that's coming up a lot for coaches. It's something that's come up this week just from the coaches that I've talked to. And I'm going to talk about a little bit some of the coaching that we do in OCI talking about these topics, right? And I'm going to explain to you how this presents itself. How do you know if this question is even there, right? How do you know that you have this question in the back of your mind? Because it actually shows up in your business. And what to do about it, right? Most of the time, if you're an aspiring coach, right, you're just getting started, you don't even really consider yourself having the business yet because you're still working on it, you're still working on getting started. You end up trying to solve for this, getting ready to be a coach, like qualifying yourself. And it looks like this cycle. It looks like consuming content, right? It's just consuming a bunch of content as much as possible. It looks like getting more certifications, right? So you got one and then you decided you needed another one to be more qualified, or just chasing shiny objects. Always looking for the next thing that you need to be ready or qualified to take on clients. Let me know if any of this sounds familiar to you, if it rings a bell, and say hi in the comments so I can see you. Good to see you guys on here. John's on here. Good to see you. Brittany's on. Awesome, awesome. Hi, Natalie. Alexandra. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Right. So we get stuck in this cycle of consuming content, getting more training, getting more certifications, and chasing shiny objects. And when that happens, what's not happening? What are we not doing? Someone go into the comments and tell me the answer. When you're going through getting ready to be qualified to be a coach and you're doing it by consuming content, getting more certifications, or chasing shiny objects, what's not happening? What are we missing? Christy says, yeah, I definitely relate on getting more qualified and consuming content. Yes. But when that happens, because that in and of itself sounds really innocent, right? Like, what could be so wrong with just consuming, like doing more research, getting more education, right? What could be so wrong about that? But when your brain is focusing on that and that's what you're doing, what are you not doing? Someone guess in the comments. John says moving forward and doing what you actually need to do. Christy says not taking action and seeing clients and helping people and making money. And Mariah says being confident in myself and doing through research. Executing what I learn. Yeah, absolutely. So when you're doing all of those other things to arrive at this state where you feel qualified and ready, what you're not doing is actually putting yourself out there and getting some real clients and getting paid, right? Notice how those two do not go hand in hand. You're either focusing on getting ready or you're deciding that you're a coach and putting yourself out there, getting clients and getting paid, right? So today, I thought I would share with you some kind of rules of thumb to help you get out there into the world. Even if you're brand new, start being a coach and getting paid. All right. And then I'm going to take the conversation deeper and we're actually going to talk about what is at the root of this discussion, right? What is this really about? And then, of course, I'm going to give you some really fun homework, really an exercise that you can do at the end of this to forever break free of this question. How many of you would like to never, ever have yourself ask yourself this question ever again? Am I qualified to be a coach yet? Am I really ready? Let me know in the comments if you're ready to talk about that, if that sounds good to you. And I'll wait. Mariah says, me. Awesome. Okay, because here is this, I'm going to make it really simple for you. I'm going to simplify the whole thing. If you've ever wondered, am I ready to be a coach? Do I need to get certified? Do I need to get more specialized certification because my one certification is just too general and I really want to specialize? Maybe I need to research more about what's actually happening in the market to see what other coaches are doing. I'm going to simplify the whole thing for you so we can actually talk about what's at the root. Well, let me know if you're ready. I hope you have something to take notes with. If this is your first live, make sure you have something to take notes with because I always give you a lot of gold nuggets and things to take away from these trainings. All right. If this is your first live, go into the comments and type first so we can welcome you and know this is one of your first trainings. All right. So there's really only a few things and this isn't actually an exhaustive list, so I'd love to hear from you if you have something to add to this list. But there's a few things that I'm going to give you to look to if you are just looking for information to offer to your brain about how you could be already qualified to be a coach. Like you're already ready. All right. So only a few things that I have for you. Number one, the first thing to consider is you've already been through and completed that same journey that your clients are undertaking, right? And I shouldn't even say completed because maybe you're still on the journey, right? But maybe you've overcome a stage of the journey that was a real block for you and you know how to get past it and you know what it looks like on the other side and there's someone else out there that's where you used to be. Okay? So that's indication number 1. And again, this is not an exhaustive list. If you're watching this training, go ahead and add your own items to this list so we can include them, right? You have firsthand experience. Number 2 is people are already coming to you for advice. People come to you and just seek out coaching. It could be friends, it could be family, but you notice that people always come to you for advice. They're always coming to you for guidance, right? And you just offer it. You know, it's part of your nature. It comes out of you. You offer it freely. You're always coaching people for free. People are always coming to you for it. You're just not getting paid yet, right? But you're already doing the work. It's an organic part of your being, and people are naturally drawn to you for that. Let me know in the comments if 1 or 2 resonates with you already. Give me a 1 if you notice that you're a 1 and you've already been on that same journey. You're like, I've been there. I know what I'm trying to help people with because I've already been through it. Go into the comments and give me a 1 if that's something you resonate with. All right. Go into the comments and leave a 2 if you're the person that people already come to for advice, for coaching, for guidance, and it comes out of you freely. It's just it's a natural part of who you are. It's organic, it's authentic, and people see you as that person, right? They may not know you have a coaching business. That's not out there for the public to see, but you as the coach, your identity, who you are, who people come to you for coaching. All right? So we got lots of 1s, 2s. We're getting both, right? We've got a both. That's Alexandra. Yeah, could be 1, could be 2. Joni says 1 and 2. Natalie says 1 and 2. Laura, 1. Absolutely. Okay? So I want you to think about that. I just want you to consider 1 and 2 already. Is it possible that if you've already been through the journey that you are called to help people with, you've been down that road before, and people are already seeing you that way? People love to come to you for this stuff. What if you just could, the only thing standing between you being a coach right now who gets paid and has clients, what if the only obstacle in the way is you deciding you're a coach? What if it has nothing to do with getting another certification, getting more specialized qualifications, or researching more, or chasing shiny objects, right? What if that's all code for, I'm not believing I'm a coach right now who can already coach people, and I don't need someone else to tell me how to do it? Devet says, did I say your name right? Devet? They come out of nowhere. Yeah, absolutely. Even if I don't request it. Your soul connects with that energy and you're drawn to start asking simple things like, how are you feeling? Where's your head right now? You're not present right now. Absolutely. Yeah. So what if the only thing standing in the way of you already being qualified as a coach, like someone who can totally do the thing right now and be paid, is the things that you're telling yourself about yourself right now? Your thoughts about you, right? So I want to offer to you the real root of the discussion. This is where I think that the conversation needs to go, okay? Because if it can't be about all of those other things that we're going to stay in a constant loop trying to be ready and qualified enough to be a coach through pursuing, we need to find out what's at the root of why we don't feel like a qualified coach in the first place, right? Right? I'm an accountant and I feel like I coach my clients more than I do accounting work. Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge indication that maybe, just maybe, you're already qualified to be a coach and you should have clients that are paying you to coach them right now. So, what if the only thing standing in the way is our thoughts about our readiness, our thoughts about our qualification to be a coach? So, what I want to offer to you is that whenever you set a goal to have, for example, your goal is to have a coaching business where clients pay you in exchange for the value of that coaching, right? You set a goal to create something you've never created before, accomplish something you've never done. You're on a mission now to evolve into the person that is the paid coach that has the clients, right? That has the six-figure business if that's your goal, right? So whenever you decide to go to the next level with your life, guess what's going to come along for the ride? Doubt, self-doubt. We think something's gone horribly wrong. And this is the thing that we're really good at with coaches. As coaches, we're really, in tune with our calling and our passion, and it lights us up and it fills us with this excitement, right? But we've also bought into the lie that the second that you go out to achieve the thing, when you go to take action on that passion, it should feel like the skies are parting, like the heavens are opening up, and we can hear angels singing and rays of light beaming down on us, and it should feel like this amazing, aligned decision. But I want to offer to you that if you are setting out to do something that you've never done before and you have big goals for your life, self-doubt is going to be there. It's part of the ride, right? That's the lie we've been sold, that it shouldn't feel like self-doubt, that shouldn't be brought up, that all of that shadow shouldn't come to the surface. And I want to offer to you that that's your inclination, that's your clue that you're on the right path. And if we're going towards our destiny, if we are following our desires, if we're honoring what our true wants are, that we're going to notice all of the contrast come up along the journey. So my question for you is, are you willing to feel it? Are you willing to acknowledge the self-doubt and the negativity that's going to be there? Right? That's part of the work. Somewhere along the way, we got sold this story that for us to accomplish great things, that it should be effortless, that we shouldn't have to overcome any self-doubt, that we shouldn't have to overcome any insecurity, that we should never feel bad, that we should be entitled to an easy ride, right? And I think that's the biggest lie that robs so many coaches of starting and doing the thing that they should be doing right now. Being the coach that helps people. When people are coming to you now, it's like they're banging you over the head, telling you you're already a coach, right? For so many of us, we don't set the goal. We don't go after it because we let doubt, we let negativity, we let all of that negative self-talk, all of that worry that's inevitably going to come up. It is part of the journey. It's totally normal that it's there. It's your clue that you're on the right path. We let it stop us from actually even looking at our goal in the first place. The second you tell yourself you're going to be a six-figure coach, you know you're going to have to deal with all of the negative self-talk along the way, right? So I just want to offer to you that what if that is totally normal? What if that's just the natural next step of you becoming who you're meant to be? To feel that self-doubt. It's like a friend that just comes along with you. And we don't make it mean something's gone horribly wrong. Right? When I set a goal for myself, it's supposed to feel scary. Ooh, it's supposed to feel like a challenge. Right? It's supposed to feel like a little bit of self-doubt. Why? Because I've never done it before. I'm believing ahead of time that I'm going to be a six-figure coach before I've created it. Of course, self-doubt's along for the ride. That's just what he does, right? Let's shift the conversation. Let's shift the paradigm, right? The person that got you here today is not the same person that has the six-figure business. It requires you to grow. It requires you to evolve and decide ahead of time to become that person, right? So as long as you're signing up for it, you're signing up for this life where you want to be the person that's constantly growing and evolving and becoming the best version of yourself. You also have to acknowledge you're going to sign up for self-doubt, and it's going to be there, and it's going to be part of the ride. That's part of your growth. That's part of your journey. So my question for you is, who's willing to feel it and not make it mean that you need to run home and hide, right? It doesn't mean turn around and go home, right? First of all, we have to acknowledge that it's normal. Otherwise, we on default mean we make it mean we shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be doing this right now. It's not our time. We must not be ready. Let's go home. So letting self-doubt dictate your actions is the choice. Mariah says, I claim it. Definitely needed to hear you say this. Absolutely. Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. Because if it doesn't, it means you're probably not setting big enough goals. So I want to hear every single one of you say, yeah, I've felt a little self-doubt. I've noticed it's been there. I think we believe that people that have accomplished things in their life, successful people, don't have self-doubt. I still have self-doubt, right? Anytime you're growing, it's going to be there. Letting self-doubt dictate your action is the choice, right? Most people don't set goals for themselves because they're going to let self-doubt kick them around, right? And they know what happens the second they feel doubt. And that, my friends, is where you have the choice. You have the power to decide what you're going to do when you feel self-doubt. And what you do is all dependent on what you make it mean. And most of you make it mean you must not be qualified to be a coach yet, or we wouldn't be feeling so much doubt. And my friends, self-doubt is going to be there. It means you're on the way to growth. It's part of the journey. So many coaches, I cannot tell you how many coaches quit after 2 weeks of failing at their coaching business. They're like, I really went hard for a full 2 weeks. Like, I just really need to take a break. I'm going to take a break from this right now. It's just never going to happen. I'm just never going to be able to leave my job. It's never going to work for me. So, what I want to ask you, if you identify with that, are you willing to go hard for 20 weeks? Are you willing to fail for 20 weeks and not make it mean anything about your ability to be successful? Just notice how quickly your brain wants to quit and go home. It's always going to tell you that's the better idea because that's where it's familiar. That's where it feels safe. That's where we get to stay the same and we don't grow and accomplish amazing things with our life. It's always going to be safer to run back in the cave and hide. Anytime you do something to put yourself to risk potential failure and suffering, it's always going to tell you, your brain is always going to say, probably not today. Maybe someone in your life has told you, like, hey, it's just not realistic to become a six-figure coach. Like, people don't really do that. Do you know how many people actually do that? That's just not realistic. I know somebody that tried to do that and did not work for them. Right? People won't pay that much for coaching. Do you know how many times people told me that in the beginning? Before I was ever a coach, I was just getting started. Oh, Valerie, people don't pay that much. That's a lot. Nobody's gonna pay much. People don't really pay that much for coaching. Or there's too many coaches already doing that. Too many people already out there doing that. Or maybe your brain says, nobody really understands what I'm trying to do. I know it's important work, but the problem is I can't be a coach because not enough people really understand what I do. So I just want to tell you that for every reason that your brain is giving you right now, every possibility, everything you've ever been told for why you're not ready to be a coach, for why it will never work, nobody's ever going to trust you or pay you. There's already another coach out there in that exact same situation who's choosing to not let those same doubts stop them or run the show. Right? So you've been preparing to be a coach, you've been thinking about being a coach, you've been getting ready for this. You know that you really need to be doing this with your life. Do you want to know what the actual secret is to actually being ready? Let me know in the comments, guys. Who's with me? Who wants to know the actual secret to being a qualified coach and being ready? The secret to actually having people say yes to coaching with you. I'm going to give you the recipe right now. This is your homework. I told you I was going to give you homework. Who wants the homework? This is the secret. Okay? It doesn't mean you're a failure if you struggle with self-doubt. I told you, everybody has it. I have it. It's part of the ride. It's never going to not be there with you on your journey. So who wants the secret for bringing self-doubt along the ride? Awesome. All right, you guys. Seeing lots of me's and I'm with yous. All right. Step 1. Okay, go into the comments and give me a 1 if you're ready for step 1. Step 1, step 1, step 1. I'm going to give you the recipe. Okay, this is something that you have to continually do every day that you're growing. You don't just do this once and then you stop growing and you don't need to do this anymore. Okay? Step 1 is you need to actually notice the self-limiting thought. Okay? Step 1 is to become aware of it. This is actually really hard to do. It sounds so obvious. Okay, I have to become aware of it when I'm doubting myself. But the problem with that, and the reason why this is hard, is because it doesn't sound like self-doubt. It presents as reality. It presents as just being realistic, right? So the first step is actually kind of hard. You have to actually intentionally be aware every time you're telling yourself a self-limiting thought. Because it's going to sound like, oh, I'm being realistic right now. Oh, no, I'm just telling myself the truth. This is just reality. This is just me being, you know, logical. Okay. So I really want you to think about that. What are some of the self-limiting thoughts that you say that just sound like you're stating the news? You're just telling the news. Like it's just reality. Nobody knows who I am. So what is it for you? Go into the comments. Here's a way to bring it out, okay? A way for you to recognize this right now is think about something that you really want. What is your goal? Is your goal a 6-figure coaching business? Is it a fully booked practice? Whatever it is for you, think about that. I want to make $10,000 every month. That's my new normal. Okay? I want you to think about creating that right now, this month. If you were actually out there doing the work required, putting in the work, doing it today after this call, if you were to actually show up and do it, oh shoot, I have to go do something. What is the thought that comes up for you? What is your brain offering up for why you can't do that right now? Right? Starting to think about actually going and taking action on that goal. If you had to go do it today, what would your brain tell you? And notice the thoughts that come up. Right? I don't think I can do what others do. Right? Notice how that's just a thought that your brain is telling you about yourself. That's what you're actually choosing to believe about you. That's all self-doubt is. It's not the truth, even though we believe it like it's reality. It's something we're choosing to believe about ourselves. Am I even ready to be a coach? Will anybody even trust me if I'm brand new? I don't have any testimonials yet, right? This won't work. This definitely won't work. That won't work. This will be hard. There's not that many people that want to coach with me. I definitely can't do it. What do you do when you tell yourself these stories? What do you do? Go into the comments and tell me, what do you do when you start thinking that? Right? You feel discouraged, feel doubtful. I'm filled with all of this self-doubt, and then I take no action. Right? And then I usually just react out of fear and avoid and put off a goal. Shut down and stop what I'm doing. Absolutely. So if we know what the effect is of all of this self-doubt on our goal, step 1 is just recognizing the self-doubt because it's in disguise right now. It's telling you that it's just reality. It's just telling you the truth. It feels very real. You have to actually recognize that that is a story that you are telling about yourself. It's like, what do you think about when you think about yourself? This is what you're thinking about when you think about yourself. It's optional. You can think something different about yourself because how do you really know what you're capable of? I don't think I can do that. How do you know? How do you know what you're capable of? Your brain is going to tell you how real that is. That's why I said step 1 is hard. I'm giving you homework. I didn't say it was going to be easy. Step 1 is recognize that self-limiting story. Okay? Step 2 is just as important, okay? Once you recognize that this is the story that you're choosing to believe about yourself, step 2 is really important. You cannot skip this. Can't skip this step. All right? Who's ready? Go into the comments, give me a 2 so I know that you're ready to move on to step 2 and you're not still jotting down notes on step 1. And I want to move ahead of you guys. Is this valuable for you today? You guys want to hear about self-doubt? Give me a 2 if you're with me and you want to hear step 2. Step 2, step 2, step 2. What are we going to do now? Okay, first step is just becoming aware when we're having self-limiting thoughts. We're having self-doubt. Sometimes we think it's not a self-doubt. We think we're just doubting that it's available to us. We're doubting like the universe's ability to provide for us. Right? Like I just don't believe that there's clients out there for me. It's self-doubt because you're doubting your ability to go find the clients. That's what you're really doing. So you got to be on to yourself on step 1. It's going to take some concerted effort to become aware. Step 2, all right? Step 2 is actually answering your brain when it tells you a doubting, fearful story. You have to answer your brain, okay? It doesn't work to just acknowledge it's there and push it away. You have to have an answer for your brain. So if your brain says, it'll never work for me, what would you say to your brain to answer that? Let me hear it in the comments. First thing that you would say to your brain. Don't judge your answer. Just give me your first answer that you would say. Your brain goes, it'll never work for you. You're never going to be able to do what they're doing. What are you going to say in response to that? Let me hear it in the comments. I'll give you a minute to write out your answer. It'll never work for me. I can't do what they do. What would you say? Because we know that that's just something that your brain is deciding to think about you. What do you actually want to believe about you? It's lies? Yeah. How would I know if I don't try? Maybe it will. Tell your brain to shut up. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to beat up your brain or be mean to your brain, right? Your brain is a wonderful tool, can be there to support you. We just want to be curious. Okay, Mr. Friend, doubt if you want to come along for the ride. Okay, so you think I can't do it? What do I have to think about that? What other things do I choose to believe? Yes, I can keep going. Yeah, how about I'm committed to my goal no matter what obstacles or failures I face? Okay, I don't care if I've been doing it for 2 weeks or 20 weeks. I'm committed to my goal. I will continue on until I reach my goal. Therefore, it's not possible it won't work for me. Because the only way it wouldn't work for me is if I quit. And I create my future. My future is my property. I forget where that phrase came from. The future is your property. Put it in the comments if you know who coined that phrase. I know I heard someone say that somewhere. The future is my property. And I think it's amazing and so true. Who's to decide what we are capable of? And why are we choosing to just believe that we're not capable every time we believe the self-limiting story? When you're talking to a potential client about coaching and they're telling you about their problems and they're telling you about what they're suffering with and how they really want coaching and they want to fix the problem, and all of a sudden it triggers a lot of self-doubt in you. Wow, this person really needs a coach, a qualified coach who can really help them. What if I can't help them with this or with that or this other thing they mentioned? Okay. So you need to, step one, recognize the limiting story and you need to have an answer for it. I will do right by my clients no matter what. I will give them my all. I will leave no client behind. And when the relationship ends, I leave them better off than before they met me. Right? You have to answer your brain. Don't just let these thoughts run on loops. What if I can't help this person? What if I can't help that person? What's your answer? You have to have an answer to it. This is the most important step. Step 2 is answering your brain. I will do right by my clients no matter what. What if I can't help them with this? I do right by my clients no matter what. I give them my all. And no matter what, they leave better off than when they met me. How many of you can choose to believe that when your brain is telling you, what if I can't help them with their problem? What if I can't help this person? Choosing to believe the fear story is so optional. I know it feels true. It feels like you're just stating the news because it's been running on autopilot, unmanaged in your mind. It feels necessary. It feels realistic to tell yourself you might not be ready. It might not work for you. You might not be able to help them, but that story is optional and you get to choose whether you let it dictate your actions. Because we already talked about the actions we take when we let it run the show. We do nothing. We say, not today. We run back in the cave and we hide. We tell ourselves later will definitely be a better time to do the scary thing. Right? Do you want to continue to believe that? Do you want to continue to think that you can't leave your current job? Do you want to continue to think that you need your family to believe in you more and support you more for you to achieve these goals and dreams? Do you want to continue to think that you're not capable of achieving what it is that you want to achieve? Do you want to actually think that? Do you like your reasons for thinking that? That is a choice. It's a choice that you have to decide whether you're going to attach to it and believe those thoughts. Let's let's do it consciously. Let's have intention behind it. And you get to decide whether you want to continue doubting yourself. Right? Doubt's always going to be there offering up those thoughts to you. Your job is to catch them, recognize them, and answer them if you don't like them. If you decide the thought's not serving you, you need to have an answer for it. And you can do this work every single day. Notice the fear, write it down, and answer it. All right, my friends? Was this valuable for you today? Does this answer your question about whether you are ready and qualified to be a coach? And how many of you think I'm spot on about what's at the root of that question? Give me a yes in the comments if you think that, yeah, this is the root of the question. This is really what's going on underneath the surface. And listen, my friends, this is normal. This is like part of the ride. This is what growth looks like. Okay. It's not enough just to have a bunch of information and a bunch of research out there and have like a blueprint of the strategy of how to achieve success, because what do we do with all this other stuff that wants to come along for the ride? Right? You need to have coaching on both strategy and all of the other stuff that's going to come along the way, the doubt, the self-limiting story, the questions that you don't even realize are holding you back. You just think it's true, right? So often I hear from coaches that they got a lot of coaching and they got a lot of support on the strategy, but they noticed they dealt with a lot of self-limitation and they held themselves back. Or I've talked to other coaches who've gotten a ton of work on just coaching themselves all day long, but no work on, okay, how do I actually show up? What do I actually do every day? You need to have both. All right, my friends. So if you are looking to get some help with this and you want to talk to someone from my team about one of these, either strategy or any self limitations that have been holding you back, we'd love to chat with you. Go into the comments and type talk, and someone will actually reach out to you and have a private conversation with you and chat with you about whatever you're struggling with, whatever is holding you back in your business. All right. You can go into the comments and type talk so we know that you want to chat with someone. Could be about your strategy, could be about a self limitation, it could be about something specific, a specific question that we didn't get to on this live today about whether this specific scenario is going to make you ready or not ready. There could be something that we didn't handle on the live today. So it might be specific to you. Go into the comments and type talk. We'll just have a chat with you. See what you need, see what's holding you back. And our mission for you with these trainings is to get you taking action and to get you taking momentum back into your business. We get messages every single week after these lives saying, wow, that was exactly what I needed. I went out and took action after that and I signed a client. And that is my goal. That is what lights me up every week. So thank you so much for joining me and being with me today on this training. Like always, you guys are awesome. You're so fun to meet with every week. I hope you all are having an amazing, amazing day and have an amazing rest of your week. Bye-bye.